Hi, my name is Vicki Romanowski. I am the science coordinator for Anne Arundel County Public Schools. And today I'm going to talk to you as a student or a parent supporting a student or even a teacher about research topics and how to select a good research topic for your science fair research. Let's get started. When selecting a research topic, it's very important to understand what is researchable and what is not researchable in the realm of science fair. So, when you're choosing a topic, it's really important to first make sure it's something that really interests you. It's going to be a time consuming process. You're going to have to dive pretty deep looking at multiple resources. You want to make sure this is something that you like to learn about and will sustain your learning in. Make sure, too, that when you're thinking about your topic, you're choosing something that doesn't just copy someone else's work. Copying is considered plagiarism, whether it's happening in an English class or in a science lab. So you want to choose a topic that builds on somebody else's work. You want to add information to the conversation. So if you decide you want to do something that involves genetics, make sure that you're not just copying someone else's genetic project that you found on the internet, but you have a new question. An extension question that can address something different and new and bring something new into the conversation around genetics or whatever your topic might be. I'm going to show you a couple of places you can go to. One is education.com/science fair. This is a place where you can search a lot of different science projects, whether you are into music and you want to look at acoustics, or you want to reverse the field, more of a physics thing, rates of photosynthesis, things like that. Tons and tons of ideas. And one of the things that's neat about this website is that they have them by grade level. So you can see this one is primarily middle school based. You can also search by subject. So you can go ahead, let's say I'm an eighth grader and I want to look for a science topic. I can filter and it will give me some ideas. Another great resource that you can check out as well is sciencenews.org. I've mentioned this in some other videos. Sciencenews.org is written by journalists who work in science, but they're also journalists. So they're well written articles. They are very, very current. They are free resources. And what I can do here is pick a topic that I'm interested in. Let's say I want to look up something about plants. I'll just put plants in the search bar because they interest me. I'll hit enter and I should have some good resources show up. So here I've got plants, and this is a very recent article. I'm making this video on May 24th of 2022. So yesterday an article came out that says these are the first plants to grow in moon dirt. We have plant-based nanocrystals in ice cream. So again, really easy, sciencenews.org. Those are two important places that I'm going to send you first because I think they'll be the most helpful to you. Let's talk about some projects to avoid. When I'm doing a science fair project, I need to make sure that I'm doing things that are safe. I need to make sure I'm doing things that are ethical. And I need to make sure that what I'm doing is actually based in science. So, starting up here, a handwriting analysis is not scientific research. So, if you go into some of these analysis pieces that are a little more of the social science, we don't include those in science fair. Doing some kind of quick survey. Again, with here, we've got gum and your ability to do subtraction and addition when you're concentrating and chewing gum. Not a science research project because you are not going to have the ability to survey enough people to make the data actually significant. Surveying your friends, surveying your family is a very small amount of people, and those surveys are not going to make for science projects that can go to your fair and actually be good projects. In AACPS, we also avoid anything that involves animal testing for many, many reasons. So please make sure that whatever you're doing doesn't involve animals or testing on animals. That also includes human subjects. It is complicated if you want to do a science fair project that involves people. There's some extra paperwork. So try to avoid that with when at all possible. Anything that has to do with tissues and cell cultures requires extra paperwork as well. It can get complicated. You typically need a lab based mentor. So reach out if you have questions about that. But generally speaking, we ask that students avoid those because of the red tape that goes around working in a lab setting with cells. Unless you have someone who can be your support there, it's going to be very hard to manage. So generally avoid that. Anything involving toxic chemicals, of course, we want you to be safe. We cannot use those in our science fair. And simple yes or no questions, like I show here. Can you stand on eggs? That's not research, that's a quick yes or no. So, again, something to avoid is the simple yes or no. If you can Google and find a yes or no answer to your question, it's not going to be science research. You're not bringing anything new to the table and you're not going to learn anything new because it's already out there as a yes or no answer. Comparison of brands is also not science research. There's an entire web page called Consumer Reports, and they have this stuff listed. So I don't want to see science fair projects that are which brand of detergent is going to clean my clothes the best, or which brand of soap will get oil off my skin the best. You can go to Consumer Reports and you can see, based on that information, the answer to those questions. There are some resources living on the AACPS website, which I've listed here. So if you go to aacps.org /page /1428, you're going to see the secondary science resource guide. So here's a screenshot of what that page looks like to let you know you're in the right place. Once you get started thinking about your topic, make sure you check out this resource guide. It does give you a lot of information as far as other web pages that might be useful. Also, your ISEF rules and guidelines. We run school fairs and regional fairs based on the rules and guidelines given by Regeneron ISEF. So click on that link to check that out. And then our categories and subcategories for the regional science fair. So as you choose to be involved in your school fair, you're going to want to think about what category your research falls into. This will give you the description of the categories and information that will help you decide which category you will be competing in. And then there's some information here too about projects and before beginning a project, what you should do. On that website is also the phone number for the science office where you can reach out for questions that may not be answered by a teacher or mentor who's helping you with your project. I hope that's helpful to all of you as you get started. Feel free to watch this video as many times as you need to absorb the information. My name again is Vicky Romanowski. I am the science coordinator. If you're doing a science fair project that is part of the sciences, reach out to me. I'll point you in the right direction for help. If you're working in computer science, reach out to Justin Sirota, who is our computer science resource teacher, works with coding, all of those cool things that have to do with the computer science side of the house. His email is jsirota@aacps.org. Let's keep the conversation going so you can have a really great experience participating in your school science fair, hopefully the regional science fair, and if you're a high school top project, the Regeneron ISEF.